In this video, we're going to sublimate this design on this lovely tote bag. It's going to be fun, it's going to be easy, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's get started. So here we are in Affinity. I am showing you the image that we're going to be putting on the tote bag, and this is something I designed on my own. It's a Duran Duran themed image evoking their Union of the Snake song. You want to go into File, Print. I am going to select my sublimation printer, which is the Brother SP1, and then here, of course, you want to make sure that quality is good. There's no, there's only draft and normal available for this printer, so nothing to change there. I'm going to keep it on normal, obviously, but the important thing is that you need to mirror this image, and for that you would go into, for this printer, because this may change depending on the printer type that you have, I have to go into layout, and then I have to flip horizontally, and you'll see the update here. Now that that's done, if I change it to fit to printable, unfortunately it isn't accurate, because it is, if you see here, it doesn't know that the printer needs, or that the printer is going to have an edge or a margin that's outside of the printing area. So I have to do that manually, and I have tried several different, shrink to printable also doesn't do anything. So the only thing that I can do is actually scale. So I'm gonna start with 80%, and that isn't enough, so maybe 50. Getting closer, 55. I wish they had given me like arrows to go up and down in this, because I have to tap away to a different. So that seems to be good. There's enough space here and here. So if I send this to the printer now, we should get the printout correctly with the amount of space and the entire graphic included. This is what then becomes the design on the sublimated tote bag. I'm going to show you the process for actually doing this in the heat press as well. Let's do that. Okay, so here we are at my heat press. I have it, this is a swipe heat press. Just move it that way. The first thing that I need to do is use parchment paper. I'm gonna fold it, and this is gonna go inside of the tote bag, just to prevent any ink from accidentally transferring to the other side. It probably won't happen, but it's just something I like to do. There's something else I like to do is to put a heat resistant pad underneath the tote bag, which is going to serve as cushion, because the design will be placed here, right? And then there's this thicker side of the tote bag. It really kind of needs to be hanging. So essentially what you need is something underneath that will allow you to just fold that back while this portion raises the tote bag, and there's no danger of the design kind of like not being fully applied. That's something that most people will do when they're doing this kind of thing. The other thing I need to do is to pass this lint roller real quick. I think that I have picked up all of the lint that was there, if any. Now we will use another parchment paper on top of here once we place the design there. I'm not going to put the design there yet, because there's one more thing I need to do, and it is iron this real quick with the heat press. Once I turn it on, I'm going to iron this so that it's completely flat and really ready to the transfer process. So as you can see here, my heat press is heating up. It's going to take a while to heat up, but I wanted to show you what the settings are. The temperature that we're going to try to raise to is 386, and then we're going to run it for 58 seconds. Once I press it, this is all done automatically. It'll count down from 58 seconds to 0. And it's Fahrenheit, and that's it. So now we wait for the heat press to reach the desired temperature. So now that the heat press has reached about 120 degrees Fahrenheit, I can actually do the temporary pressing so that we can get this flat. I'm not going to go all the way down on the pressing. I'm just going to set it down with a little bit of pressure for a few seconds, just so that it flattens. It's the equivalent of ironing it, but it's not really ironing it properly. It's just flattening it. The heat will do all the job. Let's take a look. Much better, as you can see. It's not as wrinkled maybe a little bit more just to be sure. I'm gonna push down a bit, a few more seconds. I don't want it to get too hot because then I have to wait for that to cool off properly, because you shouldn't really be setting any sublimation ink on anything that is already hot, because it's gonna start transferring immediately and damage the whole thing. So there we go. That's much better. That's exactly what I wanted. Now this needs to cool off a little bit so that I can do the next step, which is to tape the design onto the tote bag with heat resistant tape and then do the actual pressing. So what I will do now is, now that this has cooled off, which is safe for me to continue working now, I am going to put the design down. Now you need to decide where you want to put this. Obviously I'm going to put it in the center, but these tote bags come folded. They have like seams on each side and they're not always like perfectly folded to that seam. So this one is actually pretty good, and I'm going to just give this side a slight edge closer to the left than it is to the right, but just by as much, because I know that this is folded a little bit. There's a couple of centimeters from the seam. So when the user receives this, and if they're anal like me, they're probably just gonna fix that and iron it properly and whatever. Who cares in the end, to be honest. But I try to do my best to provide something that is already in the right place for the product. This looks so amazing. These tote bags, I got them on Amazon. They are 100% polyester, which is the material that you need for sublimation to stay forever. Anything that's a blend going to obviously fade, or you're going to lose some of the ink when you wash things. Only 100% polyester will remain as vibrant as the first day when you press the design on it. Now that that's there, I am going to place another parchment paper on top of it, just to prevent any ink from the paper to transfer to the top of the heat press. You don't want that to happen. So now we wait for the heat press to reach the temperature, and we do the final stage, which is to actually press the design onto the tote bag. Okay, so we are at temperature, but the next thing I'm gonna do before actually pressing this is to put on these heat protective gloves, which are going to allow me to touch the tote bag as soon as I lift the top plate when the pressing is completed, because I'm gonna need to remove the paper right away. This is not something that you leave on and let cool. It has to be removed right away. So I'm moving the plate into place. I am pressing down and I'm gonna push down, and you heard a beep, which is the counter counting down, and it's going to beep again once it reaches 0. So now we just wait a little bit. You will see smoke coming out of this, which is really the ink transferring into the material. Make sure that you are in a ventilated room so that you're not inhaling this, because these are fumes that you shouldn't really be inhaling. So I usually just move away from the whole thing until the counter ends and that process is finished. And I also usually have a fan running in the room to make sure that everything is safe for myself. Okay, so we're done. I always leave a few more seconds to pass before I lift it up. I don't know, something I do. You don't have to do that. It definitely should be fine without doing that. Now I'm going to remove this immediately, and there you see the final design beautifully sublimated onto this tote bag. I'm going to show you a closer look in a little bit. So here's the final design, fully cooled off, and I think you can agree that it looks amazing. This is a heating pad, or a heat resistant pad, that I let it set on while it cools down. Don't mess around with it at all or whatever, you know. When we ship these, they go in a little box in protective plastic. So we also include these instructions on how to take care of the tote bag, which is very important to let your clients know about, so that they never mess it up with anything that they shouldn't be doing to the material, and enjoy the product for as long as possible. Well, we hope that you enjoyed this video and that you're going to join us for the next one. Until then.